Sky Tribe Ancient Mysteries, featuring your host, Rhiannon Alley. As an explorer, Rhiannon has been to over 18 countries and is ready to take you along for the ride, exploring the mystery of our ancient history. In this episode, Rhiannon visits the Ramon Crater in Israel's Negev Desert. A crater over 220 million years old. A geological wonderland full of mystery. How was this massive crater created? Join Rhiannon as she explores this ancient mystery.
The Negev Desert is our first stop, where we meet a well-known tour guide named Effie Perry with Desert Explorer Tours. This desert is in southern Israel and located on the northern ridge at an elevation of 860 meters, overlooking the world's largest erosion crater, known as the Mektesh Ramon. The weather in the desert can be very harsh. In the summer, temperatures can go up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the winter, below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Effie gives us a tour of the mysterious Negev Wall, or known as the K-Line, built in the Negev highlands. This parallel wall of rocks dates back to the early Bronze Age, 3000 to 2100 BC. What was the purpose of these rocks? Was it a geological survey system, burial grounds, or related to cult sites? The quest for answers are still a mystery.
That all of them together connected to one line, which is 4.7 kilometers. Start over here, go to the highest point of the neck. Come over here, look carefully. You can see the lines, okay, of rocks.
Yes, I see.
Then you see it continue until the road, okay?
Right.
And then you can see it a little bit after the road. There's a little bit after the road.
I see. Almost to the top.
Yes, and then far, far away, you can like a line up to the top of the Mount Ramon. Okay, so this is an old water cistern, okay? Let's go back. We saw a lot of ancient things. We talked about Bronze Age, we talked about the K-Line. This is really old, but not as old as the Bronze Age tombs or K-Line. These go back like 3,000 years ago to the Iron Age. So 1000 BC, we're talking about 2,000 years ago. This is the biggest of all cisterns we know in the area. There's hundreds of that kind of cistern. The way it works, you see there is the water canal that brings the water over here. It's like a small pools of water. That small pool of water is act like filter, okay? The water is coming and the muddy thing is going down to the bottom, then the rest of the clear water going up the upper part until it fills up this amazing cistern. There is an argument who built that people, if it was an Israel kingdom, so it was built by the kings to have water. Some say just the Normans that used to live here, they find a way to collect water. How does the cistern works? Actually, we're stepping on a soil of the desert, which is really good for accumulate water. This less soil is really good to keep the water. So if you dig a hole like that, it will keep the water. But you want it to keep shape of it, so you put stones like that. So that way, the stones keep it the shape of the cistern, and the soil that behind it, keep it and block the water that will go in. Like I said, there is hundreds of this kind of cistern. This is the biggest of all. This is Chemet cistern.
Right behind me is the WISE Observatory, built in 1971, run and operated by the Tel Aviv University. Inside that dome houses the largest active scientific telescope in the Middle East. This telescope is 1 meter or 40 inches in diameter and 3.5 meters or 11.5 feet long. This telescope was built in the United States for approximately $300,000 and has a replica in Chile. This impressive telescope can view objects at 13 billion light years away, the edge of the universe. This observatory was named after the late Dr. George S. Wise, the first president of the Tel Aviv University. George Wise was an American sociologist who served as the first president of the Tel Aviv University from 1963 to 1971. This area was selected for its height of 900 meters above sea level and provides 270 clear nights a year and operates every night after sundown to sunrise. After exploring the desert all day, one of the traditional things to do is go to a Bedouin dinner. And that's where we're at right now. So we're going to meet Salman, who's going to entertain us with an authentic Bedouin dinner. Let's go. Nice to meet you, finally. We need some energy after today.
If you make coffee, you have to relax, not look to the wall.
All right, so he just made the bread in the charcoals, and it has a charcoal taste to it. It's really crisp and soft inside. It's very good, very, very good. I like the smoky flavor of it. After a very special Bedouin dinner with Salman, we head back to our camp and prepare to meet Ira the Starman for some sky watching in the crater.
The Ramon crater has some of the deepest and most mysterious geological secrets of the Earth that it holds. The crater itself is an enormous entity. It's about 1,000 feet deep from the rim. It's around 6 miles across from side to side and 29 miles long. So it's just an enormous space. Gazing down on it from the rim, I'm reminded of Mars, because Mars looks exactly like this crater. There you go. Good. You need one for me. So if there's 6 out there, that's the 7th. Okay, very good.
Ira is the owner of Astronomy Israel and gives star tours 5 nights a week. He fell in love with astronomy as a child when he saw a shooting star crossing the sky. Since then, his obsession has turned into a successful business to show all the beauty of the stars. Ira's tour was very educating and entertaining, and we highly recommend taking one of Ira's tours.
You can call me Starman. Just don't call me late to dinner. Do some fun stuff with the light show. Here. Anybody want to get up and dance? We can do that too. You know what? The moon has to be very close to Orion. Could I possibly be lost in the night sky? Yeah, it's possible. Hold on a second. So where did I put my other pointer? There it is. What's this star? Hey, what's that star right there? And these two stars.
Why is it blinking?
And the atmosphere is very unsteady. It's unstable. So it bends the light back and forth like a lens.
Even though it was extremely cold, we learned a lot about the stars and had a blast. Next, back to the camp for a few hours sleep before exploring the Ramon Crater tomorrow. Welcome to the Grand Canyon of the Middle East, the Ramon Crater. So we basically started at the top of the crater, at the rim, and then we descended down to this area, which is a very unique place inside the crater called Minsara. And this place has rocks that are like prisms and that we're about to see. They're black, and it was originated from volcanic eruptions millions of years ago. So that's what we're going to see now. All right, so as we were walking up to the carpentry shop to see thousands of these rocks that look like wood, there was a temperature change as we were walking up this hill, this mountain. And I noticed that these rocks are actually warm to touch. So it's almost like it's created like coils or coals. Like if you were sitting around a fire and you're nice and toasty, that's almost the effect that you get here when you get around all of these petrified, like ancient stones. So this concludes our final tour of the Ramon Crater. So it took us about an hour to drive around this crater to find this fascinating find called the Emerald Wall. This right here, these Amorites, they are fossils, marine life fossils from 230 million years ago, because the Ramon Crater was completely underwater. So these creatures, I guess you could say, they looked like octopus. They had 8 arms or legs. And when they died, they actually fell to the bottom. And this is the result, which is the Ammonite Wall. These in the gift stores are very, very expensive. I don't even know what this size would be, but this is enormous. But this is the remains of what it looks like from 230 million years ago.